And that was
Sorry.
One headline can scare you so badly. And granted, I was much younger than these kids surveyed were. But still, what I'm saying is something that significant or that big when you're a kid and maybe you don't have all your critical thinking, even in place yet. It's terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah. So the kids are upset because the government's not doing enough.
Yeah.
They should be upset because of the fact that the government can't do anything.
They say 75% feel frightened. 64% said governments aren't doing enough. 58% said governments are betraying them. 61% said governments are not protecting them, the planet, or future generations.
What can they do? With all the grandiose plans that we're hearing about, all of that is to slow down the progression of this problem. Nobody's suggesting any of this can be reversed. So we're stuck with the level of fires forever until we don't exist anymore. We're stuck with the level of storming and flooding until we don't exist anymore. The best you could hope for is that 50 years from now it's about the same and not 50 years worse. Hey, welcome to Sunshine Good Morning on Kfi Am 640. Let's get a news update from Jennifer Jones-Lee, which I'm sure is all stories of puppies who earned their PhDs.
Oh.
That's the only stories we're going to have this morning in the news. Puppies and kittens earning PhDs and medical degrees and JDs.
Funny because
from top-tier universities.
Dolly's graduation tonight is from puppy school at PetSmart.
See?
I'm not joking.
The world is awesome. It's KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
She hasn't passed her finals yet, everybody, so let's not get too excited. COVID-19 related hospitalizations continue to drop in LA County.
Stats from the county health department show 1,218 patients with the virus. That's down from 262 from last week, 469 from the week before. The number of unvaccinated patients between 18 and 49 years old is 23 times higher than vaccinated people. Overall, hospitalizations among vaccinated adults of all ages remain very low. The county health officer says as of August 28, unvaccinated adults 50 and older were 17 times more likely to be hospitalized than vaccinated adults over 50. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
LA's new Civil Human Rights and Equity Department is open for business following a kind of bumpy grand opening. The ribbon-cutting ceremony yesterday didn't go quite as planned when protesters showed up to oppose Mayor Garcetti and other city officials. A mix of cheers and boos could be heard as the ribbon was being cut. The new department will investigate discrimination complaints and take other actions related to racial justice. The Kremlin and Russian The Kremlin says Russian President Vladimir Putin is in self-isolation because of COVID-19 cases in his inner circle. Putin has been fully vaccinated with the Russian Sputnik V vaccine. He's attended several public events lately, including meeting with Russian Paralympians and the Syrian president. And UCLA's been named top public university in the country by U.S. News and World Reports for the 5th year in a row. UC San Diego and UC Irvine are 8th and 9th on the list. UC System had 8 campuses land in the top 100 national universities on the list. We're checking that drive on the 101.
All right, you betcha our puppy story will be the 101 to head for downtown Los Angeles, very popular destination, but it's still a good drive, and so is the South 5. That's it. Now back to LA traffic. The southbound Harbor Freeway now, south of the 10 freeway, southbound of Florence. Motorcyclists have gone down in lanes, a lot of activity. Things are getting slower and slower from Slauson. Again, this is southbound side. If you're heading to LAX via the 105, so you might want to use Big Road going all the way down. And then some problems that have been going on since early this morning. One in Riverside, getting through Riverside, West 60 Valley Way. Got a couple of separate problems there, backed up to the 215, West 10, 210 or better, and leaving Corona. South 15 El Cerrito, fatality investigation going on since early this morning. The backup to the 215, 91, if you can get on a foothill, you're past the problem and on your way. KFI in the sky, get you there faster. I'm Jeff Barr.
Well, you heard me talk about my friends at Sunday and how they can sell your home fast without any repairs, without the hassle of dealing with showings, realtors, cleaning, or making upgrades. Now Sunday has made the process even easier for those who want to sell a property fast.
Contact Sunday for your free no-obligation cash offer. They're going to visit your property, take photos, and do a 3D walkthrough. They'll package your property details and send it to the thousands of local investors in their database who are actively looking to buy properties. The average homeowner receives 12 offers on their property. It's quick and easy. Plus, you can close in as little as 10 days, or they have the flexibility to close in months. They can even give you a $20,000 cash advance, which will help with moving costs when you sell with Sunday. Go to Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com, or phone them, 800-25-OFFER. Get a free no-obligation cash offer at Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com. Sunday is a California licensed real estate broker, DRE license number 020-88298.
SoCal weather from KFI. We've got a partly cloudy day and cooler with temperatures in the 60s at the beaches, 70s to low 80s for Metro LA and OC, 80s and 90s for the valleys and the IE. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. Thank you for calling Zero Res.
Do you guys get out of carpet?
Yes, sir. We specialize in removing that from carpet. Is there a lie?
Yeah, I did it myself with one of those rental machines, but it left everywhere. Now the carpet's stiff and crunchy.
Don't worry, sir. Zero Res can clean that up.
At Zero Res, shampoo is a dirty word. Only Zero Res cleans without shampoos and detergents, so your carpets are left soft and fluffy like the day they were installed. Book your cleaning today at ZeroSoCal.com.
I want to break free. Ready to break free? Make your dream vacation a reality with Norwegian Cruise Line and sail to the Caribbean, Europe, and more. With our leading health and safety program, you can cruise with the ultimate freedom and confidence. Book today and enjoy 30% off all cruises, free open bar, and much more. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Offer ends soon. Norwegian Cruise Line. Sail safe, feel free. Ships registry to Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
At Open Door, we felt it was time the home selling process left the past behind. So we invented a new way to sell your home. One without the listings, showings, and all the unknowns. Just go to opendoor.com, enter your address, and we'll take a look at all the details to come up with a competitive offer in minutes. Get your free offer at opendoor.com/myoffer. Sell your home the new fashioned way. Open Door. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage, license 0206-1130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in its other markets.
I'm happy I went with SolarMax. I'm sad I didn't go with them sooner. I would have saved even more money.
Here's the new offer. New Tesla 420 panels and power walls for $79.96 per month at zero down.
Dial pound 250 from your cell and say SolarMax or go to SolarMaxTech.com. Once they pay available approved credits, you got something around 720.
Wondering if you're paying too much for auto insurance? It's easy to find out at AAA.com/insurance. You could save an average of $537. So stop wondering. Start saving. Visit AAA.com/insurance for your free quote.
For official rules and more information about contacts on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules.
Live and local.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
And so it
live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Bill Handel Show. Bill Handel is getting some studio time in this week. It's going to be here starting at 8:30 and hanging out for a while, doing what he does. It's part of phasing back in a full return. Remember everybody, the guy had a major back surgery, and not too long after that, he had a major heart surgery. So he's doing great. Let's continue Handle on the news with Deborah Jones, Lee, and me. Is that you? Is that your turn for Afghan evacuee flights being paused, or did I screw up?
I think we need to do it.
I screwed it up, everybody. That's on me. I suck, and they're gonna revoke my SAG-AFTRA card.
I don't think so.
All right, let's start the segment over, please, Tyler. I'm not going to have this on my record. It's a mulligan time on KFI.
Tyler, that's you.
Well, now you're getting your board off thing revoked. Did you just see that? No. Rich? Okay. Now? What are you doing? Too little, too late, my friend. All right, so the whole show's off the rails now. It's terrible. One of the very fine IT and engineering staff, all of whom are top-notch, none of whom are getting paid nearly enough.
Amen.
Rich is in Airmix. So I was looking at Tyler, and all of a sudden, there's a window between the rooms, and from the bottom of the window, this head pops up, and it's Rich. Just his head popped up and looked at me, and then the head pops down again, and that's why I cackled. I cackled like a gleeful schoolgirl at seeing him so surprisingly and suddenly. Are you ready to do this properly? He said, projecting his own inadequacies onto Tyler unfairly. And so it goes. Hey, stand by. We're doing Handle on the News with Jester Jones, Lee, and me. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has acknowledged that the Taliban is the de facto government of Afghanistan. Deal with it, world. That's what he said. This is the product, alas, of one side getting the upper hand in a civil war, he said. There we go. He also defended the decision to get the hell out of there, saying we're not going to send a third generation of Americans to fight and die in Afghanistan. Well, I mean, he's sort of right. They are the government of Afghanistan. They didn't need Anthony Blinken's blessing.
No, but
to be the government of Afghanistan.
I'm curious, though, as to what it was that kind of turned the corner for Blinken, because remember, just a week ago, we were reporting that the U.S. wasn't going to recognize this government as the government of Afghanistan. I don't know, reality showed up on his door and said, hey, dude, I know you've got your political purposes, but do you want to just take a look at what's going on? And he went, oh, dang, you're right. They clearly are the government of Afghanistan. Well, if you've been wondering why some of these evacuee flights have been paused out of Afghanistan, it's not necessarily because the Taliban's not letting people out. That may still be the case, but according to the U.S., they've had to put a pause on several of these flights because a number of the people seeking asylum apparently have the measles.
Oh, boy. Isn't there a vaccine for measles? Yeah. So you're saying that when people don't get vaccinated, then a disease spreads and causes big problems, like interrupts a humanitarian mission because people weren't vaccinated. Now, in this case, I doubt very seriously any of these people were vaccine deniers. I'm sure they would have been perfectly happy to take a measles vaccine. They weren't able to get one.
Yeah, and I think it's very fair to say we have no idea how many of these people are even Americans. So it's not like even...
Oh, maybe none of them.
Yeah, exactly.
At least they're stopping the flights.
Not bringing them here.
Not yet. Oh, Joe Biden's COVID-19 vaccine mandate does not apply to Congress. Guess what? It also doesn't apply to the judicial branch. In fact, it apparently only applies to the executive branch. Okay, well, that's fine. He may not have the authority to issue an executive order binding the other two branches. We wanted separation of powers. So I don't necessarily have a problem with it. So then we have to go, okay, so what's Pelosi doing for the House? And remember, she said, nah, I can't really mandate it for Congress members. Sorry, can't really do that. Then she said, that was in April. Then last month she said, oh, if it gets full approval, I would consider a mandate. Well, Pfizer has full approval. She's not really saying anything about it. So that's interesting. And then the judiciary, I don't know who you'd be looking to. The administrative office of the courts, or maybe the Supreme Court could come in and say, we are technically the boss of all of you, so we're going to, mandate it. But in any event, there you go.
President Biden apparently is exploring clemency for some prisoners who were let out during the COVID-19 mandate. So these would be nonviolent prisoners who were released. Many of these were either in overcrowding situations or where they were trying to figure out how to better distance the inmates, and so they were letting some of them out.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently the Department of Justice, the move came after the data revealed that 1 in every 5 state and federal prisoners in the U.S. tested positive for COVID-19, and they said if that's the case, we've got to do something to alleviate those numbers and reduce those numbers, and that's why they started letting people out who were nonviolent offenders.
It does seem unwise if you let somebody out and assuming they're behaving themselves. It seems unwise to make them go back in when we have the Delta variant going on and everything. So that's what he's looking at, and we'll see if he does it. People have beaten up on him, by the way, for not using his clemency powers enough. So maybe that's part of what's motivating. He's like, who can I give clemency to that won't be too controversial?
And then, there'll be people on the other side who say those people never should have been, released in the first place, and they were in prison for a reason, or they were in facilities for a reason.
All right, well, you go live in a crowded place with COVID everywhere. Yeah, you like it. Let's get a news update from Jennifer Jones-Lee. Then we'll finish Handle on the News. It's Kfi Am 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
USC's athletic director says he believes the university's football team will have a greater chance of success this season under new leadership. The Trojans' head coach Clay Helton was fired yesterday, 2 days after USC was unexpectedly beaten up by unranked Stanford. More than a dozen lawmakers in New York are calling the treatment of inmates horrific and inhumane. They toured the city's main jail complex on Rikers Island yesterday after reports of violence and complaints by workers. And the Powerball jackpot is up to $432 million because no one won last night's grand prize. So that puts the cash option at $313.5 million for tomorrow's drawing. If you win, will you go to work the next day? We'll take a look at your drive on the 110 with EKFI in the sky next.
At a prestigious consumer electronics show, the winner for best product might surprise you because it went to technology found in a mattress. Sit and Sleep introduces the new Smart Life mattress by King Coil.
Inside every Smart Life is something revolutionary. 80 patented smart cells that cradle you with personalized support and let you and your sleep partner adjust your comfort level.
Smart Life even has a feature Sleep Number doesn't. A soothing relaxation mode that massages you to sleep or gently wakes you up in the morning.
Before you buy a Sleep Number bed, you owe it to yourself to try Smart Life's revolutionary smart cell technology. Stop by any Sit and Sleep or make an appointment today, where you can shop safely with your own personal protector to lay on.
And Sit and Sleep will deliver, set up, and remove your old mattress for free. So for the latest innovations in sleep, make the smart move. Try the new Smart Life mattress from King Coil at Sit and Sleep today.
Driveway is changing the way people buy and sell cars. Just go online, buy your dream car, and get it delivered to your driveway. Find them at driveway.com now. That's driveway.com.
SoCal weather from KFI. Partly cloudy today, but cooler with highs just from the upper 60s to the lower 90s. This report is brought to you by driveway.com. From Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. We're watching the 110.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jen, if I win the lotto, KFI and this guy's going to look a little different, that's for sure.
I had a feeling.
Be heads up leaving downtown Los Angeles now. It's clearing up a little bit, but South 110, the Harbor Freeway around Florence, there's a crash there. It's easing up a little bit. It's going to be a little slow coming out from Slauson. I don't think it'll make you too late, but slow you down a little bit. Back to the San Fernando Valley now, off of quite a busy spot. Eastbound 118 just before the 5, little center divider activity. Again, that's eastbound just before the 5, before we make that South 5. And South 605 at Washington. Now we're just learning that the right lane is blocked, so kind of slow coming out from the 60. Real quick, Rubidoux now, West 60, Valley Way, 2 separate crashes actually, as you back up from before the 215. It's getting quite serious now. West 10, West 210 between the 215 and 57 are still slightly better, but the 10's starting to jam up a little bit. More on that coming up. KFI in the sky, get you there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
This report is sponsored by Mercury Insurance. 9 out of 10 Mercury Insurance customers renew each year. That means Mercury is pretty good at what they do, like saving you money and providing stellar customer service. Get a quote today at mercuryinsurance.com. Mercury Insurance. Smart insurance for smart people.
Hi, it's Erin Andrews here for my friends at Cuddly. Each year, 6.5 million animals enter rescue centers looking for a second chance at life. The community on Cuddly helps these underdogs win. Cuddly champions animal rescues and makes it easy for you to donate essential items like food, toys, medication, and even surgery to the animal of your choice. Log on to Cuddly.com and learn how you can save a furry friend today.
Hey, it's Gary Hoffman. Let's talk about your Medicare coverage. Scan Health Plan is for people with Medicare. Now more than ever, it's important to have comprehensive coverage when you need it most. If you're new to Medicare, have both Medicare and Medi-Cal, or have been diagnosed with certain chronic conditions, you may qualify to enroll in Scan Now. Call Scan at 1-855-370-7226. TTY 711, or ask your agent about Scan.
Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Attention homeowners. Interactive Mortgage has dropped rates again to a rock bottom 1.75% rate in APR. Yes, it's incredible. A rock bottom 1.75%. And if that's not enough, Interactive Mortgage will even pay your title, escrow, and appraisal fees. That's right, no points and no fees. Absolutely zero. Zilch. None. So what are you waiting for? Call now and take advantage of these never-before offered rates. A 1.75% rate in APR with no fees whatsoever. Call Interactive Mortgage now at 844-371-CASH. That's 844-371-CASH. 844-371-2274. Or visit interactivemortgage.com.
Waypoint Corporation, DBA Interactive Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender. Terms and conditions apply. New clients only. Loan amount $300,000 to $548,250. Minimum FICO of 740 and maximum LTV of 60%. All loans subject to underwriting approval, and not all applicants will qualify. Loans made or arranged pursuant to California Finance Law License Number 603F938. NMLS Number 302352.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. Ever since Duffy Power Services became a sponsor here at KFI, I've been getting a lot of questions about how backup generators actually work. So here goes. Once Duffy evaluates your home, they hook you up with the perfect generator to meet all of your needs. Then, when the next outage occurs, while everyone around you loses power, your generator automatically takes over and life continues uninterrupted. When the power comes back on, the generator turns itself off. It's just that easy. What's also easy is 0% interest financing and payments as low as $72 a month, which makes your emergency power totally affordable. Now, as you know, the pandemic has everything in short supply, so don't wait. Call today and Duffy will make sure your life, your comfort, and your safety won't be interrupted during the next outage or any of the ones after that. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power. Pound 250 Duffy Power, or find them on the web at duffypower.com. That's DUTHIE power.com.
California, the time is now. Election day is Tuesday, and if you don't vote in this recall, one thing is certain, we will have 5 more years of Gavin Newsom. Mail your ballot or head to the polls and vote yes to recall Gavin Newsom. This recall election isn't about red or blue, Republican or Democrat. It's about all of us. Newsom's failures affect every Californian. Record homelessness, skyrocketing crime rates, surging prices, and families struggling to make ends meet. Our governor works with Sacramento special interests to protect them while the rest of us suffer. We can't afford 5 more years of the same. We can't afford 5 more years of Gavin Newsom. We have the power to take back control. Mail your ballot or head to the polls and vote yes to recall Gavin Newsom this Tuesday. Paid for by Rescue California to support the recall of Gavin Newsom. Committee major funding by Jesse Powell II, Prompt 39 LLC, and Lincoln Club of Orange County Issues PAC to support the recall of Gavin Newsom 2021.
Paperboy.
Paperboy was fantastic.
Yes, I remember that.
You got money for breaking the windows of the haunted houses.
Yes.
You couldn't break the windows of the good houses.
Oh
and
my
if you hit the
gosh.
door with the newspaper, you got extra points.
Gary and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m.
I would hit cars like nobody's business.
Smack the car.
Run straight into those things.
On KFI.
6:40 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. This is the Bill Handel Show. Bill's going to be along at 8:30. He's starting to do some studio time. Not the whole show, but some of the show, and ramping that up until he is back completely. We're doing Handle on the News, Jennifer Jones-Lee and me, and the Inspector General for the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department says there should be some kind of limits for when deputies can point their guns at people. This came out of an incident up in... Was this up in the Antelope Valley, Jen? Do you remember?
I think, yes. I think that's what it is.
Canyon Road. Is that up there? Okay. So there was a report that some kids had hit an older guy with their skateboards. The sheriff's deputies respond. They see two kids with skateboards and one older, an 18-year-old, at a bus stop. Immediately the guns are out. Immediately. And they questioned them for not that long and said, oh, sorry, go on your merry way. Meanwhile, other citizens are telling the deputies that they have it backwards. That the older guy was harassing the kids. So that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths when you see video of cops with their pistols, and in one case, another deputy rolled up and got out his rifle, and they're pointed at unarmed kids who apparently haven't done anything wrong. I understand the deputies couldn't have known that part when they showed up. So the Inspector General is saying, you know what? There's basically no rule about when a deputy can just point their gun at you. And they don't have to report when they point their guns at people. And so the Inspector General suggests they get some rules in place. I wonder what Sheriff Alex Villanueva thinks about that suggestion. Well, insert sound of a toilet flushing. That's what he thinks of it.
Apparently, a new report from federal investigators shows LA police badly miscalculated the amount of fireworks they put into that big containment vehicle before they detonate them and cause that massive explosion that destroyed part of a South LA neighborhood back in June. I think they kind of knew that. So
well, we already knew that thanks to Steve Gregory.
Yes.
But this is the official ATF conclusion now.
They say it was caused by overloading the vessel with more explosive than it was actually designed for, and that's what caused the failure, which makes sense.
It would explain everything that happened.
Absolutely.
But Steve Gregory already had a beat on this information some time ago.
Can I tell you what just happened?
Yeah.
The heat is now on in the studio.
The heat just came on? It's because it's the first morning in a while that it got down to 60 degrees, so they cranked the heat on in this building?
I don't know, but the elevators didn't work, the sound didn't work, and now the heat's on in here. That's why everybody came in here a second ago to figure out.
Why are we still in this building? I think the building, this is a Stephen King book, come to life. The building is desperately trying to warn us.
Get out! Get out! Oh my gosh, this morning's just getting funnier and funnier. Whew.
Let's see what else happens today. This is a good day not to tune out the show, because we have no idea what might go down.
And I'm supposed to speak to two of the honors English classes at Walnut High School today. Oh, kids!
I would call first and see if their elevators are working. Hey, can you video that?
Me talking to the kids?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to see that speech.
Well, they gave me a whole list of questions.
Oh, yeah?
It's like 2 pages
of questions.
Of tiny little font questions.
What kind of class is it?
Honors English.
Honors English. And you're speaking about...
They just want to talk about the news and what it's like to be in here. And actually, their teacher, Lisa, is a big listener of Wake Up Call and the Handle Show. She's probably listening right now. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. A jury found that the woman who pushed her own 7-month-old son off of a 4th-story parking structure was sane at the time that she did that thing. Sonia Hermosillo was convicted last month of first-degree murder and assault of a child causing death. She pled not guilty by reason of insanity, so they had to have a separate trial to determine whether she was legally insane at the time of the incident. The jury said, no, you knew what you were doing. Bye. That seems about right. Because the problem is, let's say you really have some kind of serious mental illness. I don't know that it expresses itself by purposefully getting your kid in the car, driving them to this particular parking structure, going up to a high floor, and doing all of that. Is there anything we can do quickly that's not upsetting?
Clay Helton's out. I don't know if that's upsetting.
Well, I mean, if you're a USC football fan, I suppose it's a relief.
Is it though?
It's only
What's
the second
plan?
game of the season. Clay Helton's been there for what, 7 seasons?
Yeah.
And at first he was great, right? And I think
yeah.
they won a title and they won all this stuff, and then the team wasn't doing as well, and they'd had enough.
But what's the plan? I always say, you got to know what you're doing going forward, and it doesn't sound like they fired him and immediately said, and
we have somebody
Joe
waiting.
Schmo
Yeah.
is your new leader.
I don't know. They just did not like getting trounced
by unranked Stanford.
By stupid Stanford. So he's gone. They must have known before that game that if they didn't win that game, that he was going to go. I don't know if he understood that, but I bet you the athletic director knew. You lose this game, you're gone, buddy. And he's gone. Now we don't know who's going to replace. I mean, at this point, I'll replace him. You probably get the same results. I could lose you a college football game just fine.
Oh, can I be your assistant?
Yeah, why not? Tyler can be the strength and conditioning coach. Alex can be the offensive coordinator. Why not? All right.
Awesome.
Let's get a news update from Jennifer Jones-Lee, and then Alex Stone from ABC News will be here. It's recall day, everybody. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey, get up. It's time to vote.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Recall day is here. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Supporters have gathered in Long Beach to hear President Biden call on voters to reject the recall of Governor Newsom.
We need Gavin Newsom.
President Biden took shots at recall frontrunner Larry Elder, but never mentioned his name.
Republican governor blocking progress on COVID-19. Who was also anti-woman, anti-worker, a climate denier. Who doesn't believe in choice. The choice should be absolutely clear.
Biden said last night the eyes of the nation are on this election.
The clone of Donald Trump. Can you imagine him being governor of this state?
Elder has criticized Newsom's handling of the pandemic, crime, and homelessness. At Long Beach City College, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Some Republicans, led by former President Trump, have made unsubstantiated claims the recall election is rigged. Much of their criticism is about the wide use of mail-in ballots. Nearly 8 million ballots have been cast, with 35% of registered voters. Today is the last day to vote on whether to recall the governor. News is brought to you by Pure Again Water. 6 LAPD officers have filed a lawsuit against the city, the mayor, and the chief over the city's vaccine mandate. City Attorney Mike Fewer says judges have shot down similar lawsuits.
And they've done so because they've said the greater good compels it. The greater good compels this right now.
The officers say their constitutional rights to privacy and due process have been violated, and further claim they've been subjected to harassment and undue pressure by command staff to get vaccinated. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco says he will not enforce the COVID-19 vaccine mandate regardless of who orders it.
Bianco says the vaccine is a very personal choice and he will not interfere with that.
I'm not anti-vax. I'm anti-vax for Chad, but that doesn't mean that I'm anti-vax for someone else that feels they may need it or that does need it at high-risk categories or even if it just makes you feel better.
The sheriff says health officials and politicians should consider the natural immunity from someone who's been infected with the virus. Bianco fully recovered from COVID-19 and also refused to enforce mask mandates. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
Political donor Ed Buck is being sued by a man who survived 2 overdoses from drugs he allegedly got while at Buck's apartment in West Hollywood. Dane Brown says he met Buck online in 2019 and that Buck would send a car to pick him up from a hotel on Skid Row. Brown testified at Buck's federal trial in July, in which Buck was found guilty on all 9 crimes he was charged with, including providing meth that resulted in death. Nicholas has made landfall in Texas. It turned into a hurricane last night before moving over the coast of Texas. Nicholas is on track to hit Louisiana tomorrow. Governor John Bel Edwards says another hurricane is the last thing his state needs.
Life-threatening flash flooding due to very heavy rainfall will be the primary concern.
Nicholas has been downgraded to a tropical storm. And Apple has issued emergency software updates because of a flaw that allows highly invasive spyware from Israel's NSO group to infect anyone's iPhone, iWatch, or Mac computer. The user doesn't even have to click on anything. The spyware, known as the zero-click remote exploit, is considered the holy grail of surveillance because it lets governments, mercenaries, and criminals secretly break into a device without tipping off the owner. Let's take a look at your drive now on the 10.
Gee, that sounds like fun. Good morning. Now, we got a busy morning on our freeway, so stay with me. A couple of these could make you late. We'll start leaving Ontario. Westbound 10 at Town Avenue. There's been a crash there. The westbound 10 now back up from 4, coming around that turn there. Westbound Holt Avenue, if you can deal with the signals, is still in pretty good shape. And leaving Riverside to the west now, West 60 Valley Way. 2 separate crashes. We've had lanes blocked for a long time. The West 60 stopped before the 215-91 with delays there, and leaving Corona now. South 15 before El Torito fatality investigation. Man, it gets lengthy. It's going to be backed up from the 91. You get on the South 15 at Foothill Parkway, you're all clear. Finally in Long Beach now. The president's still in town. Ocean Boulevard closed, both directions. Linden to Long Beach Boulevard. Use Broadway. That'll get you through. KFI in the sky. Get you there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
If you thought you missed the lowest mortgage rates in history, you're in luck, because they're back. Mortgage rates are near historic lows again. So if you have a mortgage, refinance it and forget it. You'll never have to worry about refinancing again. Network Capital Funding is offering a low 15-year fixed rate at 1.75% with a 1.94 APR. Incredible! Network Capital has built a reputation for saving people time and money with our unique process that's fast, simple, and secure. Our 15-year fixed rate is 1.75% with a 1.94 APR. Now, second chances don't come often, and you may never see these rates again. So, refinance it and forget it. That's a 15-year fixed at 1.75%. Yes, 1.75% with a 1.94 APR. Call the experts at Network Capital now. Call 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1-HIT. As in home run. Call now and save big on your refi. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Not licensed in all states. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. And the financing law. Number 603D787. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and may not be available rate law. Discount points may apply. Subject to credit approval. Call 800-500-1448 for additional cost information.
Imagine if the first ever way we did things just became the way forever. Like, what if we never replaced the telegraph?
L-O-L.
Ridiculous, right? So that's what happened with home selling. So we at Open Door invented a new way. One where you sell directly to us and skip the listings, showings, and other hassles of selling the traditional way. Get your free offer today at opendoor.com/myoffer. Sell your home the new fashioned way. Open Door. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Inc. License 0206-1130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in other markets.
Your KFI Financial Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow is down 97, S&P down 9, NASDAQ down 6, and the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.39.
Bay Alarm Advanced Video Security proactively protects your property, stopping crime before it starts.
Check out weather from KFI. We've got a partly cloudy day ahead. Temperatures will range from the 60s at the beaches, 70s and low 80s for Metro LA and IC, upper 80s, lower 90s for the valleys and the IE. Then it's 63 in Tustin, 62 in Dana Point and at Tacoma, 60 right here in Burbank. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones Lee.